Welcome back to Comtrack, where you'll never have to watch a movie alone again. I'm your host, Tim Leifheit, and I have another special guest star returning from his last appearance with us from Rogue One, Nathan Ball. Give it up, Nathan. How you doing?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing pretty good, Tim. How you doing today?
Not too shabby. I mean, I'm sit here in my little studio. I got a nice Jack and Coke for me to watch a really kick-ass movie. I've been excited to do this one for a long time, and I honestly could not think of doing this episode with anyone else but you.
You flatter. Although I'm glad that you said that you were drinking because I'm totally drinking. So
Yes. What are you drinking, sir?
I've got whiskey on the rocks and beer to chase, and then I have about a half a gallon of water in my cowgirl water cup, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, it's always a thing. You need anytime you do podcasts, you always need some water. But also, for you folks listening at home, if you guys don't want to hear us bullshit for a little bit before we start the movie, there's a sync button down below. You can click that, and you can just jump right in. But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about John Wick here, because yeah, shit, this is a hell of a fun movie. I want to know actually how you saw this, or got into this for the first time.
I missed the theatrical release for this. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. I mean, I love Keanu Reeves, I always have, but I didn't think this was going to be that big a deal. To me, it was always, this was just another one of those movies like Expendables or Bullet to the Head or something that was just all it was going to be was action. That's all it ever was going to be marketed as. It'd be a one shot. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then I decided to rent it, and I watched it. I think it was like 3 in the morning because I was still working nights, and it was just a weekend, so I was just by myself. And I was entranced. I was like, this is the single coolest thing I have ever seen, ever. I want all of it.
Yes. Yeah, man, dude. Like, it's crazy because, like, Keanu Reeves, like, it was for the longest time, I'm like, where the hell did you go?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were in Point Break and you did The Matrix and whatnot, but after The Matrix and maybe like doing like 47 Ronin and Constantine, which I hear weren't the greatest of movies, I'm like, where the hell have you been?
I personally like Constantine.
Actually, I still need to see it in its entirety. I hear it's not like that great, but I hear it's like a really great guilty pleasure among people.
It's grandiose.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. But what I do, I think the last movie that I really remember him like being in was the god awful remake of what was it? The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that was the last time I saw.
I forgot about that actually.
Right? I think that was the last, because I'm like, I saw the trailers and I'm like, God, that looks awful. But what the hell are you doing here, Keanu Reeves? Like, what?
Yeah.
But
now the world
what has your
going
agent been putting you on?
Insane by this wonderful man. So I'm all for it.
Oh, Keanu Reeves is the new internet's boyfriend. Like, did you see that one meme of like the Simpsons cute lambs? And it's Jason Momoa being pushed aside in favor of Keanu Reeves.
Yes. Yes.
It's one of my favorites.
I love all of them. All of them.
Yes. And so you've seen all 3 John Wick movies?
I actually haven't seen the third one yet. I have been slacking.
Third one's fucking awesome.
That's what I hear.
Third one.
So I'm very excited to see that. But no, I'm at 1 and 2.
I don't want to give. Yeah.
So, but we'll be remedying that as soon as possible. So.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so just random thing, like, because I enjoy these movies so much, I actually wound up making a supercut of all 3 movies combined, because literally, like, they flow into one another. Like, as soon as the first movie ends, the next one begins, and so on. And I'm like, wouldn't it be really cool if it was just one long 5-hour action movie that just never stopped?
You absolute madman. I
know, right? I will. Well, the whole reason why I watch it is because when I watched John Wick 2, without giving too much away in case anyone hasn't seen it yet, the way it ends, when the credits start rolling, I'm like, No, movie. You keep going. You just got interesting.
Well, it was like that for this one too, and for the
Yeah.
viewers who haven't seen this, you'll understand exactly what we mean in about 2 hours. For the viewers who have seen this, well, you know what we mean. So,
Yeah. I mean, this one did have a little bit more closure than, say, the second one. I mean, the second one's literally straight up a cliffhanger, and so is the third one. Without giving too much away, of course. But
all you've given away is that there's
this
to
one.
me is that there's going to be a fourth, and fuck yes. So,
there is definitely a fourth one in the pipeline, and I am so gonna watch the shit out of it. And actually, I hear there's gonna be a TV series called The Continental, based around the adventures of the hotel managers.
what? Yes.
Yeah, it's fucking
Uh,
awesome.
Yes, I want it. I want it right now, actually.
Like if the main guy is just like the concierge at the beginning, like I will totally. I'm in.
Same.
So, let's see. I'm trying to think how the first time I got introduced to this movie. I think it was. Oh God, I forget. I think it was. I forget what it was. It was something online that's saying, "Oh, this movie's great. It's great. Keanu Reeves is back. Like he's back as like he's better. He's back in his Point Break kind of groove again, and it's better than ever. Like he's doing fight scenes for these long takes, and I'm like, all right, I'll give it a watch. Like I'm a big fan of The Matrix, so I'll give this shit a watch. And yeah, holy shit! Like, just the nightclub scene alone, which I was like, for what now?
Did you see him going through his shooting range time? Like the
Oh my God! Yes, I saw.
time trial?
I totally saw.
Holy crap!
Yes, I totally saw it. Right?
Oh.
Jesus Christ! Like that man is just like insane. Did you know? Okay, so for the third one, he pulls up a shotgun and he actually quad loads. Like for anyone listening back at home, quad loading is when you actually grip, hold shotgun shells in a very specific manner to the point where you can shove them into the tube in less than like 3 seconds. Literally, just like shoot, shove them in real quick, and then go off and firing. It's popular among shotgun sporting and whatnot. But he actually does it in the movie, which is also on the time trial. Ever seen.
It's also on the time trial. Like you saw him do it when he was running through the course too. Like holy shit.
Yeah. When you see him do it in the time trial, it's actually even more impressive than when you see it in the movie.
Well, yeah,
it's like when you see things in movie. Yeah. Well, also because there's a lot of film tricks that you get around that stuff. Like it's not just stunt guys. It's like also over cranking the camera so it looks like they're moving faster than they actually are and whatnot. But if you just get like a camera out with your phone and see him do that shit for real, it looks amazing. It actually kind of blows my mind. Like, goddamn, Keanu Reeves is John Wick.
You should put a link to that in your description if you can for people who want more of Keanu Reeves. Which is
dude,
all of us.
actually, did you hear? Did you hear they're really trying to get him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Oh, you as what? I don't care, but as what?
Oh, okay. I've heard on several sources that he's in the running to be Moon Knight, which is kind of cool.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah,
he's a crazy bastard too.
See now, I think it'd be cool to see him as Moon Knight and whatnot, but it'd be really cool to see him as Adam Warlock.
Ooh, that'd be a good one too.
Yeah.
I think personally,
also there's another one that just
I think personally I'd like him as Moon Knight because Moon Knight's batshit crazy. I think he'd do really well. So.
Also speaking of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they've just announced the Phase 4 and whatnot, and they've got like the mini series for Disney Plus called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Guess who's writing it?
I don't know.
I shit you not. The guys that they are really gunning to write it, and I'm pretty sure they've already written it. it's the guys who wrote John Wick.
Oh fuck yeah, that's perfect for Winter Soldier.
Right?
And
Right?
is Falcon gonna? Well, I suppose we won't know yet. But is Falcon gonna be Captain America Falcon or just Falcon Falcon?
I'm gonna say Captain America Falcon. I mean, he did give the shield at the end of Endgame.
That's true.
Spoilers.
That's true. At this point, if you haven't seen it, it's your own fault.
Yeah. So, yeah, writers of John Wick are going to be tackling Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's very exciting.
Oh, that'll be so good.
And but the other person that I wouldn't mind seeing having Keanu play is doing the voice and the mocap for Silver Surfer.
Interesting. I really like that character too, and I'm so mad with what Fantastic Four did to the character. We really didn't mess him up, just put him in a bad movie. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, you know what's an interesting side note? Do you know who was the voice of Silver Surfer in that movie?
I don't know.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Really?
Ooh. Yeah. Fucking Morpheus. Yeah, man, it's good. So, I don't know what he's going to be in the MCU, but yes, what a tangled web we weave, Neo. Or Mr. Anderson. Yeah, so I'll watch anything with Keanu Reeves, especially also another thing about Keanu Reeves. Did you see him in Toy Story 4?
I haven't seen that yet. I heard it was really good though.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
I personal issues aside, I really haven't had a whole lot of time. It's all I could do to catch up with the Marvel universe, but I did that in a weekend. So.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, totally. But as of course he's, as all the voice cast of any Pixar, or especially the Toy Story movies, he's great. He plays an evil Knievel kind of toy with anxiety, and it's really hilarious and cute. Yeah, and also pokes fun at his Canadianness.
Oh God, we could talk Keanu Reeves all damn day. Man. This might be the show. This is the show, Tim. I'm just gonna.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is kind of like his new like signature role, man. I think for a while it used to be The Matrix, but after because after 3 solid good movies in a row, instead of one good movie and 2 semi-disappointing movies to follow, yeah, this might actually overtake Keanu's signature role from Neo to John Wick.
See, I always saw him as a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure guy, but that might just be me. 'Cause I loved that shit.
Actually, okay, so fun fact, me and my other co-host, Hannah, it turns out that we like to say that Keanu Reeves popped both of our R-rated cherries. Like the first R-rated, yeah, I know, it's a fun way to put it, but like the first R-rated movies that each of us saw were Keanu Reeves movies. Hers was The Matrix, and mine was Speed from way back in the day. Yeah, I saw that when I was like 4.
Mine was The Rock, but I refuse to say Nicolas Cage did that to me, so I'm just going to say Sean Connery instead, which is a much better sentence. So.
Yeah, good times, man. Good times. But yeah, I think we should actually get started on the movie, because this is a fun ride, and I want to get right into it.
If you insist.
Yep. So all right. So all you folks back home, I hope you got your John Wick movie all queued up, because we are pressing play in 3, 2, 1, and there's the logo. Now, actually, what's another fun fact about this movie? The director was actually Keanu Reeves' stunt double on The Matrix.
Really?
Yeah. Seriously, the directors. I mean, technically, there's only one director, because they were producing it together and whatnot, but they can only take one director credit. So one of them just kind of said, "I'll take producer credit and you take director. It's cool." We both know it was a project for both of us.
What's your second count, by the way? Just making sure we're on par.
Yeah. I'm at 41, 42, 43, 44. So.
Got it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, were literally just like their his stunt double was the one who directed this movie and produced it, which is kind of awesome because this is a movie by stuntmen for stuntmen. Like it's a artistic action piece is what they were calling it.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Oh, I know, right? I
And
mean, right away it starts out with John Wick just beat the fuck out of, and you're just like, what the hell happened, man? And you're actually, I think you're supposed to be led to believe that he dies in this scene and is dead by the end of the movie. But come on, man, can you really kill off Keanu Reeves?
I don't want to. I don't want that to happen.
No, no,
Period.
especially not this character. This
fictionally.
character is way too compelling.
And it was such a short backstory too. Like you get nothing. And you have minimal reasonings, but you know what the funny thing is, cliches are cliches for a reason. It's because everybody will adhere to it, everyone will understand it, and as much fun as you want to poke at those, you can't deny how real they are. And so something as short and as simple as this is still perfect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a blank check for Keanu Reeves to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
To get revenge on these people for what happens to him. You know?
And I also like this because I haven't heard much criticism about Keanu Reeves, but what I have heard is that his disposition usually airs more towards deadpan. Like, he doesn't show a whole lot of emotion in his acting. But with this character, it's almost made specifically for him. He doesn't have to. His character is pretty devoid of most showing emotion at all. Like, nothing is on his sleeve. Everything's inside. And with his pensive nature, you really get that without him even trying.
Yeah. Although, from what I'm told, Keanu Reeves actually has like a really tragic backstory with his with his old girlfriend. She died in a car accident after giving birth to their only child who was stillborn. And
Right.
she got really depressed, and it was a strain on their marriage, and kind of OD'd in the middle of traffic and died in a car accident like almost instantly. Yeah. So
and his
I know Keanu Reeves'
sister has leukemia.
Yeah.
As well. Has.
Yeah, he was using like a lot of his millions to help out not just his sister but like a whole bunch of other leukemia victims, and just like gave millions and millions and millions of dollars away for charity and whatnot.
Yeah.
To help that sort of thing, which just kind of goes to show what a nice guy he is.
That's some characters,
yeah, I mean,
what that is.
Yeah.
Like not the fictional character, but just like the perseverance and it's impressive that he acts the way that he does, because he has the perfect excuse just to tell everyone to piss off, and he doesn't. He does the exact opposite. It's inspiring.
He willingly does the opposite, actually. Like, he'll go out of their way to, because I remember there was a story where there was this guy working at a box office who was, and this was like in Australia when he was working on the Matrix movies, and he went to go see it at a movie theater, and the guy working the box office was just like, holy shit, that's Keanu Reeves. And he got so flabbergasted, like he just said, use my employee discount. And he says, why? Like, I'm not an employee here. And he's like, it's cool. Like, just go in. And then he goes away, and then he's like, damn, I wish I had remembered for an autograph. And then 2 seconds later, he hears a little, tap, tap on the window. And there he is, he went out of his way to buy, like, an ice cream cone that he didn't want to get a receipt, just so he had a piece of paper to write his signature and give it to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's that kind of guy.
I heard that story. Like, that's really cool.
And he'll constantly be taking the subway and everything to work. Like, he's just like one of the most chill dudes in real life. It's really awesome. Like, hopefully, like, I'll be graced with his presence one day, and just kind of give him like a high five and like, dude, you were awesome in Speed. Like, I watched the shit out of that so much. Or even just like do like a air guitar riff and just yell excellent with him. Like, oh, that would make my year. So anyway, we got Willem Dafoe here at the funeral, just kind of checking up on him. And I'm a little sad that Willem Dafoe doesn't make it throughout the movie because I would like to see more of that character.
It was a good character.
Yeah, yeah. Also, apparently, like all these people are his wife's friends and family and whatnot. And if I remember, because I did a little bit of research and whatnot, because there was like an interview with the directors, and they said, yeah, apparently his wife is a award-winning photographer, hence all the pictures and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Like, because you tend to look at who John Wick is, and you see all these people at the funeral, like, who are these people?
Yeah.
And they're with the wife, so that makes sense.
Because
And now we
no
have a
one would be, no one would be there for him.
No, no, not for the boogeyman, but
Now we get another heartbreaker.
the dog.
Yeah.
And it's crazy? Like, they just went out of their way to get literally the cutest dog on the planet, like a fucking beagle. Like, goddamn you, movie! Like,
You bastards.
it hurts. It hurts. And then his wife's just leaving him one final note and one final gift because it's so fucking sweet. Like, she doesn't want him to be alone, which is so nice.
Again, this kind of beginning reminds me of like Up, like you remember how many of those memes and things like that said a better love story in 5 minutes or whatever. Same deal. Like they pack it all right in the beginning, without telling you who the devil he is, and you're like, I thought this was an action show, action flick. And right now, all I'm feeling is tears.
Yep, you're just like, where's the fucking Kleenex?
Yeah,
no, I'm not crying. You're crying.
I didn't come here to cry, man. I came here to. Damn it.
See, this is, you know what? I think that we can just call Act 1 of John Wick, Cheer Up Keanu. Sad Keanu.
Okay. Oh, the puppy.
Oh, that little pupper. And of course, it's Daisy. Oh, that actually reminds me. So, I don't know if anyone knows this, but apparently this movie was loosely based off a real incident. Apparently,
I'm
back
sorry?
in like 2009 or what? Yeah. Apparently, back in like 2009, there was a ex-Navy SEAL who was living quietly alone in Texas. Heard like on April Fool's night, like middle of the night, there was a couple gunshots, and they found out that some like 4 guys just fucked up his car and shot his dog like in the middle of the yard. And so he took got out 2 9mm Beretta pistols, chased them down 4 different counties, and apprehended them while they continued to taunt him and mock him and threaten to kill him and whatnot, and showing absolutely no remorse for killing his dog. And when the cops actually showed up, they were like, dude, how the hell did you not like just kill him? And they were like, he actually just looked him straight in the eye. He said, I've killed enough people in my life.
Whoa. Ho,
Yeah.
ho, ho.
And apparently the dog was also named Daisy, but it was DASY, and it was like an acronym for his fire team.
Well, that's just upsetting.
Yeah. Right? So I'm pretty sure the screenwriter just took that story and just kind of made it 10 times more just depressing and violent and
not
awesome
even that many
sad
times. That's a badass story in and of itself. You just added a little fiction flair to it. That's about it.
Yeah. Just a little grounding in reality. Oh, that dog is so cute. God.
That is a gorgeous,
obnoxiously
gorgeous
adorable. Car. Yes, the Mustang GT, if I remember correctly.
Modded out too.
Oof. Oh yeah, man. I mean, dude, if it's John Wick, like this guy's clearly ex Russian mafia. Like that thing's like decked out to the teeth, for
Oof.
sure. And then so yeah. Oh, here it comes. Our first appearance of our main villain, Theon Greyjoy. Dickless. as he's fondly called, or the shitty Dickless, because there's cool Dickless, which is Varys on Game of Thrones, but shitty Dickless is Theon Greyjoy. And apparently, I hear the guy who plays him is actually like a total sweetheart in real life. They just wanted someone who looked like a prick from the beginning.
He does have the face of an asshole, to be fair, and he
Like,
plays
right?
one very well.
I mean, right here is where he's just like, dude, your face is just so fucking punchable right now. It's not even funny. Because I don't know about you, but I'd deck him. Oh, Lord knows he certainly gets his worth in Game of Thrones, because Jesus Christ.
And he goes,
I don't know if you
immediate
watched
dick.
that, have you?
Immediate dick.
Yes.
Yeah. Small talk, jackass.
Just, although this part right here is where I'm like, where I thought was really cool, where he just, like, everything's got a price, and he just shits back right at him. I love it. Yeah, that guy right there should have gotten a reprieve just for that little bit right there, But then again, he did co-conspire to kill his dog and fuck up his car and whatnot.
What do you have to do to get free driving range at a private airport?
Kill a lot of people for the mob.
Right, but how far does that go? I mean, Jesus. Oh,
I don't know.
yes.
I honestly don't know, but yeah, honestly, this was the part that gave me the most question marks, because I'm like, is he practicing for like stunt driving or whatnot, or is this like how he gets his kicks now? Like,
I think it's just like
I'm
a
not sure
stress
what
reliever, dude.
Yeah, that I could see too.
Yeah,
like,
just a way to get the edge
'cause
out.
it's just the way that he like goes at the end of the scene, like just like yeah, like I don't know if the guy just like shot in his pants or whatever. I mean, if that's how it gets off, like man's got to get off, especially without the wife,
Well, he's got a lot of pent up rage and legitimately no people skills to deal with it. So, yeah, I do
That's
that.
very true. I mean, hey, if he can get your emotions out in a healthy way without hurting people, like that's fine. And apparently, that must be the only way to do it for the Baba Yaga.
It's gonna break my heart.
that
It's gonna
puppy.
break my heart. It's gonna break my heart. I don't want
Yep,
it.
because here's the bit.
This is
where
the
you
one
just,
continuity
like,
thing I don't get, though. You would
What's
think that somebody who's been so trained would immediately wake up. Kind of like Red style. Like retired extremely dangerous. Like
yeah,
I don't
you would think that.
I don't think he'd get caught off guard at all. I mean, I know he has to for the sake of the story, but that's the one thing. Well, you don't know that about him yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just he just sincerely felt like he did finally get
Like
out. So
yeah, he was done.
yeah, so I mean, he's living a fairly peaceful life and whatnot. Oh God, fucking Christ, that I can't. Honestly, I have a hard time looking at that. That just tears me up.
Why kill the dog? Why?
Right?
Why? That's just a kick in the balls.
Right? Like, dude, if the dog's like making noise, just like put it in the basement or something. Like this, not cool. And also, yeah. Oh, dude, that right there where he pulls his bandana off. That was the dumbest movie he could have made. Because now he knows his face.
See this?
Oh.
In all fairness, even without the fact that it was the last gift of his wife, this is personal now. And
Yeah.
I
mean, when you put the corpse at eye level like that, that is just sick.
Now, I'm not nearly this cool. I know I'm not. I'm aware of that. However, I don't think I give a shit at that point.
And I love that. Also, this is another thing that I really love about John Wick, like the discipline. Like he just very quietly, very methodically buries the dog, and also very methodically, you know, gets all his old shit out of cleans the place and gets his old shit out again. You know, like you can tell he's saving his emotions for when the time comes.
Using it as fuel.
Yeah, right there. That, oh god, the Keanu Reeves death stare is just so intense.
Oh, they're misusing that car so much.
Mm-hmm.
Although I love this bit. I love this bit.
With John Leguizamo.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Mm. Also, it's another thing that most people don't talk about: the use of color in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like I really love the kind of almost aqua blue of the shop here, but throughout, like you'll notice that color is kind of a thing. Like even with like the new what we're calling like neo noir films, like what film noir was in the 1940s, and what
the kind
noir
of
films
neutralized color schemes.
No, it's not neutralized. Like they're super like vibrant. Like they tend to use a lot of neon. You'll see them in movies like Drive with.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, they've got like this very clean, very slick look to them with very distinct, vibrant colors that
What's that?
I think is kind of like turning into the new norm of neo noir, as kind of like how black and white was used in film noir back in the day.
What's it? The new Netflix series. I think it's called Envoy or whatever. The one with the dude who played RoboCop.
Yes, Peter Weller.
Yes, that I think that's what you're talking about. That would be a good example.
It's kind of got there's this. It plays with colors in the same way that black and white filmmakers played with black and white back in the day in the 1940s. Yeah, and then this bit I really love, where he just talks to Vigo and just like, yeah, I know who did it. You gonna do something awful? And he's like, probably. And yeah, this guy is just not having any of this kid's shit, like whatsoever. And who can blame him, right? And see, this is the part where he realized he's like, dude, you really fucking should have killed him.
Yeah, no shit.
Chance. Because
you should have killed him.
You would have saved so much trouble. I mean, you had him down for the count and everything. You had the boogeyman himself, literally on his own floor bleeding, and you could have just taken a bullet while he was out and put it to his head and just saved your ass so much trouble.
Also,
but thankfully he
balls
didn't,
on this man.
Yes.
Good God.
Well, to be fair, like he is surrounded by his own guys, and he knows what Vigo's gonna say when he realizes what the hell his kid's done. You know?
Yeah, he knows that he's not gonna get in trouble with John, especially because he's not gonna fuck with John.
No.
But he's more upset with the shit that now he's in the middle of. He's personally safe, but he's more upset with just now I have to tell the man that I work with that his son's going to die. So.
Yeah, but thankfully, John Wick realizes like this guy is just he doesn't want to be a part of this, and he respects that and whatnot. So he's just like, tell me where he is and give me a ride, and I'll take care of this and all that sort of thing. Because I really do like that kind of unspoken bond that they have like right away. Now here's probably my favorite scene in the entire movie.
The phone call?
Where where he gets the phone call, and then this shit where the mob boss is just looking out over, looking all badass, just heard you struck my son. And he gives like the performance of a fucking lifetime. Just this reaction coming up right here.
Just one word.
Oh.
And all of a sudden now you just sit there and think, this dude's probably gonna be able to fuck something up somehow, and I'm curious.
Honestly, like, that's probably the greatest, like, reaction I've ever seen for, like, a mob boss. Just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'd hit him too.
A man
But
who's literally the
I'll
closest thing to a demigod you've ever seen in your life.
fucking life, right?
He's basically Achilles.
Yeah, yeah. Although, what's really funny, also really funny about that line, it's actually an homage to Keanu Reeves's, like, signature. Whoa. Yeah, they actually deliberately went out of their way to make sure Keanu doesn't say "whoa" in this movie, because John Wick is obviously a character to say it. John Wick doesn't say "whoa"; he makes other people say "whoa."
Accurate.
Yeah, so like all the O's are an homage to "whoa," which I thought was really wonderful. Also, you know what I really love about this movie? The production design. Like, everything is just classy as a motherfucker.
And also, look at the power play. Just the casual walking up. This is not your space. This is my space.
Yeah,
How
I
much you
love
can
it.
do without any words.
Yeah, it's really crazy because, like, I mean, the filmmakers might just be, you know, some stunt guys who've been working for a number of years, but they know how to fucking direct a movie. Like, they know how to make a movie look cool, for make it all very visual and whatnot, and know how to shoot and edit it all, and really get out a lot of story in a lot shorter amount of time. Because this is not necessarily a long movie. It's like an hour and 40 minutes long. Like, this easily could have been a 2-hour movie. Yeah, you stole. Bam! Just like, he's not having it. Motherfucker! It's like, you just pulled on the tail of a snake. Ugh.
Not just any snake either.
Oh, it's good whiskey. Also, his suit, the red shirt thing. I really love how that's going to come back later, but I'll let you know when it comes to it. And then name
Fucking
drop.
nobody. Oh god, I love this.
John Wick. Yes.
Intimidating
the
as shit.
montage, right? The montage of him literally breaking the ground.
Like,
hey, so can we actually call this movie groundbreaking?
you stop that right now. But how melodramatic is that? I'm gonna cement my life in the floorboards so I never have to deal with it again. How far away do you have to run?
He's the one you send to kill the fucking boogeyman. Fuck, dude. And then just, oh. Like, I really love his name is enough to, like, make powerful, intimidating mob bosses reconsider their life choices.
The pencil line.
And then, of course, we have the, yes, fucking pencil. Which we,
pencil.
which I don't want to spoil too much, but you're going to see that in John Wick 3.
You saw it in 2.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, that's right. You saw
Yeah.
it was in 2, right.
Yeah.
We got to see his pencil trick in the sequel, which was
awesome.
just as grisly as we imagine.
It was amazing. I was like, it's the goddamn
Yes, it
pencil.
was.
I saw it too with a friend. I was like, it's the fucking pencil. And they're like, dude. I was like, you don't know. I was like,
who the fuck can do that, man? Like, I think the only other time a pencil was so freaking scary was when Heath Ledger did it.
I was just thinking that.
Yep. But yeah, so this exposition dump is just the stuff of fucking legend. I imagine one day this monologue about how he came to be will if that monologue wasn't like intercut with him literally breaking out his old assassin stuff, I can actually see that speech about what a badass he is being on par with the U.S. Indianapolis speech from Jaws.
It's a
Did you hear a fucking word I just said?
yeah, it's a like the speech enough was powerful. The cut
Yeah.
just made it just harrowing.
Yeah, because it really just because the sheer, especially just the aspect of sheer force of will and commitment, like Jesus. But I really love the fact the kid actually thinks he can take him on. Like that's adorable. Just want to pinch your little cheeks and rip them off your face. And of course, it's never a mob movie
I also like the
without
concept that this. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, complete.
I like the early understanding of the concept of this criminal underworld runs the same way. Like no one gets in other people's way. Business is business, but it all works on some like underground government that everyone follows. You know, just the gold coins and things like that.
Yeah. One of these days, I really want to get myself a replica of the gold coins because they're just really fucking cool to look at and whatnot. But yeah, I really love that system and whatnot because I think it was based off of. You probably know the myth a little bit better than I do, but it's based off the old myth where you have to give like a token to death itself to ride into hell.
Across the river
Like,
Styx.
I think it's based off of yes,
Dante,
based off the old Greek.
It's old Greek, but it was redone in Divine Comedy, Inferno.
Yes,
Dante Alighieri.
That's right.
You pay.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've read Dante.
Well, yeah, you're right though. It was an old Greek myth first, but and it's been redone. Pennies to the boatman. You would cover the dead with 2 coins, and that would be their ferry across the river Styx. And if you didn't, they would be lost to whatever came before, which was basically limbo.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
So
that's cool.
That's kind of what they based it on. Also, we kind of missed it, but the Latin fortune favors the bold on his tats on his back, like shit. Oh my god. There's only one little slight grievance that I have with John Wick's look, and that's his hair. His hair is really long.
I
and
wish I
wouldn't
could
that
get my
kinda
hair
in
like
the
that.
way- Well, yeah, I mean, the hair looks great. It's just like I don't know if that's very practical and whatnot, because wouldn't that get in your eyes if you're trying to shoot guns and fight and all that shit?
Well, you don't know what he looked like before he retired either. You know, just the same way as you said, you know, he let his guard down by allowing people to get in because he should have been scot-free. Maybe he grew his hair out because he fucking wanted to.
That is
Also, I think it looks
actually a
badass.
very fair assessment. That's a very fair assessment. I don't mind that. Although then again, if he really was kind of back like this to fight, you think he would just give himself a haircut right before he showered?
There isn't that much time, you know? And
Fair enough,
even
'cause-
the movies take place in the course of 2-3 days? Not long.
Yeah, just John Wick's just having a really bad week.
Yeah, no shit. Also, what a
'Cause
fucking shot.
Yeah, like look at this shit. Because also this is like one of the really fun, wonderful things because it finally gets back to the old ways of shooting movies where it's wide angles, not a whole lot of movement, and no shaky cam, and just not a whole lot of like the editing is like long takes and wide angles, just like the old ways of doing things.
Also, it's not...
which is so nice.
As much as I love, you know, Marvel Cinematic Universe and Captain America and all that stuff, the action is for superhumans. It doesn't work in real life. Everything is very effective. All the movements are quick, focused, to the point. No room for anyone to think. You react. And
yeah, I mean, it totally helps, and plus it totally helps that Keanu Reeves is literally doing 90% of these stunts.
Right. Everything that's not overtly dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure was what it was.
It really is ballet. You know what? I, I actually love the fact that they willingly got these guys to wear ski masks just so they could reuse their stunt team later. Because obviously they only have so many stunt guys.
Yeah.
Actually, there's this wonderful little technique that I really love. That it's called gerbling, where you'll have like a couple guys like fall down and whatnot, and then as soon as it pans away, they'll get right back up and put on like another bandana or whatever, and be another guy, and they go right back into the frame as it's still going. Yeah, stab him, and then there's just this shit right here, or this bit right here, where it's like he's pushing him in. We've seen this cliche, but then he does this. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Like he just beats it in.
Boy, he really knows how to nail the hammer on the head.
I love this. I love this because the
Oh, yeah.
cops are there. Anyone else be pissing their pants.
Yeah.
There's legitimately dead bodies in the fucking hallway.
I mean, he looks down there and there's like, oh, hi. Problem? He's like, you working? But honestly, the first time I watched this, I'm like, holy shit, that is a kind of reputation you cannot beat. You know?
You can't
like,
buy
oh,
that shit.
No. He just looks and he's like, oh, working, huh? Right on. You know, he's like, oh, no, just some stuff I'm sorting out. He's like, wait, have a good evening. Bye.
Yeah, you can't buy that kind of respect. That is amazing. What, again,
Right?
so many significant power plays as to what this character is with so little actual words.
Mm-hmm. I mean, apparently, like, in the original script, he doesn't speak for, like, 30 pages. And the first thing they were thinking was, like, oh, that's so Sergio Leone. Like, that's straight out of a spaghetti western from back in the day. And we got the coins again.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, man, like, although apparently it's not just because of his reputation, but apparently there are cops, like, because this whole underground circuit and whatnot, I do love this, the cleaner. But they're so, like, in depth and underground and, like, within their own world that the cops know about it, and they're like, these guys operate on their own set of rules and whatnot. We leave them out, so it's just kind of a respect sort of thing. Like, hey, we're in the know, you're in the know. They don't kill cops, they don't kill civilians, and they stay out of the normal world as we perceive.
Yeah.
So it's not just John Wick's perception; it's also how the cops react to the society here. Oh man, these guys are really efficient, dude. Is that guy missing his front teeth? I think that one of the guys that they were rolling up there, I think he was actually missing his front teeth. Jesus. Jesus. Just, casual day of loading dead bodies up into a black van. Right on. And, of course, he just earns a couple of coins. That always was, like, another thing that kind of was... I wondered is, what is one coin worth?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they're more like business cards, like collectibles, collectible business cards. Like, one might get you entry to a hotel or maybe a drink or whatnot. Couple more will give you like big services like that or whatnot. So it's just like, they're just a small thing of in circulation where it's just like they're kind of arbitrary,
Well, it seems not though. I mean, it's pointed out that they use actual money as well, but I don't know. I think this is more of like a like a second style of currency that floats around. One that means more to them specifically.
Mm-hmm. And then Willem Dafoe doing one of the most mundane things, just
Willem Dafoe
making yes, doing Willem Dafoe things. Although he is definitely in a Willem Dafoe New York apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's Green Goblin right there.
Right.
Oh man, I mean, granted, I'm like, you know, obviously people watching this movie kind of already know Willem Dafoe's fate, but I really wish he was stuck around for like the second one at very minimum, you know, because he's such a fucking great character actor, and here is no exception. And plus, I kind of want to know more about their close relationship, you know. Also, the other reason why I thought it would be really cool to choose this movie for this month is because I'm kind of doing like a semi-animated theme or anime theme, Japanese anime. Uh, this movie does feel because like the last movie that I did was Inception, and I always talked about that movie looked like a shot-for-shot live-action remake of an anime that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's
You know?
fair. Yeah.
And this kind of feels, it doesn't necessarily feel like that per se, at least not to that extent. But this movie definitely feels like a shot for shot remake of, like, say, a graphic novel. Especially the way they do their subtitles, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
'Cause
Because it's never expected. It just kind of pops up randomly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you notice in, like, the beginning, it just appears as, like, normal subtitles and whatnot for when they're speaking Russian. But whenever it talks to, like, John or talking about the boogeyman or whatnot, it goes to this really, really stylized
Yeah.
font that kind of emulates, like, because I remember watching that, I'm like, oh, that looks straight out of a comic book. That's awesome. Like, this feels like a graphic novel that was never written.
It should be written.
And honestly, I will. You know what I would? What's that?
It should be written.
Yeah,
Good
I was
God.
about to say, you know, what would be really fucking cool to watch, like as a graphic novel or even like a TV miniseries. Young John Wick.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like
God.
that would be fucking cool. Like we've seen young James Bond. We've seen young Indiana Jones. I want to see young John Wick. I want to see what the hell that's like. And we have our concierge. I fucking love this character, dude. Um, but oh, and speaking of that, did you know that did you know that John Wick is not actually his full name?
No, I did not.
Apparently, I've read up on the internet and whatnot, but apparently his name is I think it's Jardani Janovic.
Hmm.
So he just took his last name Janovic and turned it into John Wick, John Vic, or John Wick. Yeah. God, I love that concierge. I wish hotel clerks were that like that, just like cool and classy. You know.
I'm pretty sure that depends on the hotel we stay at, Tim. And you and I
That's
do
very
not.
fair.
I do not have
Like
the
obvious.
capital.
No, dude, this is downtown New York City. Like, you're not gonna. That's not gonna be cheap. Saying in the Continental, even if for like a regular person, you know. Although funny
Hmm.
story, the building that they chose for the Continental, that is actually one of the trade buildings in Wall Street.
I thought it looked familiar, actually.
Yeah, like if you watch the Dark Knight Rises, the building where Bane's holding all
Yeah.
the Wall Street hostages, and when they come out, that's the same building. So now we're going down into the underworld. Looks like. I believe this is the point where I think this is where he gets like a whole bunch of his old weapons and whatnot, or because I'm pretty sure he has like an old safe and whatnot.
We're at the bar first.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're at the jazz club.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really love the song that's playing. I'm an evil man. Don't you know? as soon as this movie was over, I immediately downloaded the soundtrack because I thought the fucking soundtrack was so cool, especially the nightclub music. Like, that's anytime I listen to the nightclub music, I'm just like, oh yeah, just like adrenaline pump, you know. Miss Perkins. Oh, actually, I actually found out that the actress who plays Miss Perkins, the lady you just saw, and plus when she, breaks into John Wick's hotel, she's actually from Toledo.
Really?
Yeah, no kidding.
Huh.
Like, I'm like, oh shit, a local, right on. That's cool. Nice to know. People from Toledo can actually get to better places like L.A.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Kind of gives me hope.
Really attractive.
Yep.
Like,
And now we finally got to
Okay.
meet the manager, played beautifully by Ian McShane. Like, he seriously looks like the most interesting man in the world right here.
I would love to have a conversation with him. I don't care what about. Could be anything. I don't care. Like,
Oh my God! Can we just get the guy who plays the most interesting man in the world in the Dos Equis commercials to play Winston here?
oh, that'd be funny.
Because honestly, I feel like that's what he plays his entire performance around. He's just like, he is truly the most interesting man in the world. Although then again, it's kind of hard to beat Keanu these days. Jason Momoa can kind of give him a run for his money, but Keanu right now is king. Oh. Man. Oh, actually, you know what I found out just recently? The guy who's playing the Russian mob boss, the Vigo there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he passed away 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
2017.
very
This was like, yeah, no kidding. Like
It was like a year before that happened, wasn't it? It wasn't that long ago. What, 15, 2016?
no, this movie was 2014. And he died in he actually died at the end of 2017, which
That's a real
really
shame.
sucks.
I liked him a lot.
Right? Yeah. Because I have no idea who this woman is, but I want to know more.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and apparently he had lung cancer and just passed away, which really sucks. Because I don't know if you recognize him, but because he's kind of got a beard in this movie, and he was clean shaven in the first movie that I seen. It was he was the villain in Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
Mm-hmm. No, I know.
Yeah, the dude who just like.
He has a really unique voice that I liked.
Which just is a real tragedy, because did you ever see Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
he's
come on.
yeah, he's the one who grabs the nuclear case and just jumps off a building onto a car, which was nuts to look at.
Now that I'm looking,
No.
whoever, what was her name? The girl that you said from Toledo. She
Perkins,
can't be much. She can't be much older than we are, and I'm so curious.
No kidding, right? Like, because I believe she's like in her mid-30s.
Yeah. If that.
So yeah, I want to know like a little bit more about this woman. See, be like, hey, what's up? Really loved your bit part in John Wick. Wondering what you're doing next and whatnot and all that stuff, and be like,
Love playing
just be like
high school volleyball or whatever.
All right, so now we're getting into probably the coolest scene in the entire movie, the red circle scene. Oh, this guy right here, not that guy, the guy previously. Oh, hi, yes, that is a gorgeous ass.
Well,
like, I mean, this is a really nice club. I would love to be here right now.
again, Tim, we can dream.
Yeah. As soon
Sorry,
as,
didn't mean to bring it down like that.
Well, hey, you know what? Hopefully one of these days the 1% will, like, actually be split up and we can actually get some actual income coming in. Maybe.
Never.
It's kind of a pipe dream, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, John Wick heading out to the Red Circle the dance club, and he is ready to kick all the ass. Like ladies and gentlemen, this is probably Keanu Reeves' finest moment, like, ever. And but what was I gonna say? Shit. It was oh yeah, right here. This is the other like scene, or like the mise en scène where where they really like to play with the colors and the neon and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel like this is like the new trope, which I am totally for. The new trope of like neo-noir films is to have these really vibrant colors with high contrast dark shadows. That's a really cool look. Also, that guy right there, the guy who's taking away the bottle, that was one of the agents in The Matrix.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
right.
So awesome.
Like he's the one who fights Morpheus on the truck in Matrix Reloaded.
Ah. Also, you can't tell me this is a level of respect. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Because
this right here, this bit right here.
Yeah, this man
I
is
love
saying,
this.
fuck my job. If anyone asks, I say John Wick. No one's going to yell at me.
Yep. Honestly, like, it's the way he just says, "Thank you, sir." It's just like getting a reprieve from the devil himself. Just, why don't you take the night off? And he's just like, nope. It actually reminds me of this really, really great moment in one of the animated Batman movies. It's Mystery of the Batwoman, where there's like a really big mob crony, whatnot, who's been beat up by Batman a couple of times earlier in the movie, and there's a moment where Batman's investigating the mobster's house, and he's going through the drawers, and the crony just walks in, and he's like, "Hey, is anyone here?" And he looks, and he just sees Batman, and they make eye contact, and the crony just closes the door, walks away, and then there's someone like, "Hey, is there any problem in there?" Nope. and Batman doesn't have to say a word. He just just looks at him. I love it. And of course, this is the first bit where John Wick just gets the first bits. Oh God. I also really love the red candles in there. Oh yes. The water looks so good, and with the red candles, the red and the blues. Mm-hmm. That's a really good color palette. And yeah, right here, yes.
They're the same thing, exactly the same thing.
Yep.
Just with lights instead.
Yep. Looks like he's literally just entering into Satan's lair right now. Fucking love it. God, these shots are gorgeous. A+ to the cinematography, man. Like, these guys know how to fucking light, color, and compose a shot, you know?
Nothing.
He is just sizing up the room like no one's business.
One down.
Oh, damn. Look at that Rorschach.
Uh-huh.
And then one more thing, and blam! He gone. Oh, shit. Oh!
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Die, bitch. And target acquired. And I also really admire the discipline that he chooses not to shoot him from that vantage point at all. Mm-hmm. He's like, no. I want to look him in the eye when I shoot him. Of course, now he's lost the element of surprise.
Yeah, but he is just whatever. Owning this. That was a belly cut.
Oh, yeah. Like, who gives a shit at this point? Like, he might have lost the element of surprise, but, yeah. In this bit, where he just eyeballs him.
And shoots
doesn't
in
shoot
the
him,
back of the head.
But then,
wow.
Boom! With just maintaining the eye contact is what makes that so much more powerful. And then this guy right here, just like
Oh,
the double tap, boom, and then double tap into the face and in the face. Damn. Jesus. And now this is the bit where we really get to see the full aspects of what I like, what the stunt guys and the director they like to call gun fu. Because I think for years and years and years, like they were looking for a script to be like, hey, we got this really cool like fighting style that we want to do for a movie, and it's called gun fu, and we really want to do that for a movie. And they read this script and they're like, oh, this is perfect. Like we can totally do gun fu with this. But like they really needed to up the ante for the body count because I think the original body count was like 6, and in here it's like 80 guys.
well, like, look how calm he's just walking through, taking people down, by the way.
Oh, yeah, right. Just right here, just blam, blam. I also really love the fact that he actually, motions the gun like, like almost like he's punching with the gun,
Yeah.
just to make it super, super aggressive. And then here comes the big moment where he's just like, he's coming, and then, yes, bitch.
1, 2, 3,
2,
done.
bam, boom. Also, another great thing about this sequence, he is shooting actual red shirts.
The time to reload.
He just boom, bam, 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 another one down, and then this one right here is like shoots the toe and then shoots in the face, bam. But yeah, the red shirts that he's of all the guys that he's taken out, yeah, that's totally a Star Trek reference, 100%. I love that the kick, bam, in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really appreciate the Star Trek reference because not only does it fit the color palette really well, but it's just like a really wonderful geek nod.
Ooh, what
Bam!
a spin.
Boom! Jesus Christ! Like this man is on fire.
Well, like the trick is you don't stop moving. He just everything you can tell is just reaction. Like he's not thinking about it. He's just moving towards what he's doing. That's it.
Yeah. Although, just really give it to Keanu and the stunt guys because these are long takes. That was devastating. But apparently, if I remember correctly, when they were shooting this, Keanu Reeves was fighting with 104-degree fever. Like this guy was just like really sick when they were shooting this. So yeah, really like big round of applause for Keanu because like this dude just fucking kills it. And then, got to stop to reload because bullets only have you only got a finite number of bullets here. And then, bam! Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah.
Also, I really love the music, how it just completely accentuates the whole action sequence.
Well, also, mind you, he's been shot at this point, too.
Well, I mean, he is wearing bulletproof armor and whatnot, but
yeah, but that's still it's.
It's still like crazy. Yeah, but yeah, the guy that he's fighting right there, that's totally the agent from Matrix Reloaded.
Who, by the way, is doing a pretty damn good job.
Right, and then boom, that hurts.
Yeah, it does.
See, I know how they actually did that scene. Like they just had a stunt guy fall on a mat, and then they cut to Keanu just like falling from like, a foot.
Yeah.
But the cut actually accentuates the thud, so it actually works. That's more of a feature, not a bug, which I really love. And then of course, Keanu just sizing Yotsef up over the phone, man. I almost want him to say like, at one point where he just says like, I'm just talking to a dead man on this line on this phone. Of course, he's just really out of it. Poor John Wick. He's had a really rough day. He's having a rough week. Assassins are assassins are really
no
really
one's
well taken
that
care
good.
of. Yeah. Oh, and of course, here's his
Bourbon.
drink,
Here we are.
bourbon.
Done.
Oh yeah, I already finished my Jack and Coke.
I'm
Now
just
here's
sipping.
another tie into the Matrix, actually, right here. The doctor, this guy right here. Yeah, that's the keymaker.
Oh.
Yeah, totally. Like apparently, like the directors and the filmmakers, they worked on the Matrix, and they're like, oh hey, you want to stitch up Keanu and come in for a day? And he's like, yeah, sure, man. I really do like the this character of the doc. Just
I've got that covered.
I got that covered.
I've been there.
That's another thing, that reason why I wanted to do this episode specifically with you, because when I watched this movie, I actually there's a lot of characteristics of John Wick that you channel a lot,
Well, you're
and
just flattering me now,
and
sir.
that's no, seriously. Like there's like in like the action stuff that we tried to do, like when we made movies, you actually were kind of my go-to stuntman and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember that was
but
back when I was in shape and could do that, though. So that's different.
but well, even so, like you did a little bit of stunt work for me and whatnot, and really limited to what we actually did, but I see a lot of John Wick's characteristics, not in just you, but also specifically for your writing. Like there's some moments and lines that play out where I'm like, oh my god, did Nathan write this?
Now you're just flattering me
Because
again.
I'm like, it totally has that attitude, just like, yeah, just using a drink to work with the pain with any kind of bullet or knife wounds. And speaking of which, there's some more coming here from Miss Perkins, who's really gonna fuck some shit up. Yeah, it kind of is really stupid of her to break Continental rules.
Well, you get
Like,
the understanding that she's pretty new at this, so she doesn't know what the reputation. I mean, she does know, but she doesn't take it seriously. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Everything has a
I can kind of
price
see
type
that.
thing.
I love that. Where they're just fighting and the phone's ringing and whatnot. But yeah, yeah, it's just I can kind of see that, where she's just like kind of new to the thing and she doesn't really kind of understand the consequences, or she just kind of is like one of those people just signed away their soul and whatnot and
Yeah,
didn't
or she thinks
really
that she can
care
handle
about
the
the consequences.
consequences.
Yeah, dude.
She's overinflated
When you
herself.
see John Wick 3, when you see John Wick 3, you're like, how the fuck did this? Oh God, how the fuck
Also,
did this woman like think she could take on the high table? Because
yeah,
like,
can I say
dear
something?
God, they're giving John Wick a run for his money.
I gotta tell you, the first time I saw this, I half expected this scene to end in sex. I'm not gonna. Well, until he punched her in the fucking face. But but like, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me thought it was gonna be like Mr. and Mrs. Smith style. I was like, oh well, that okay.
No, I wouldn't see that, because John Wick's a loyal man to his dead wife. Like, it's
Right.
been way too. It's been not enough time and whatnot. And plus, if John Wick's gonna bone, like, it has to be with someone that he either has a history with, or has developed, or someone he met and has developed over a very long time, which I don't see going to be happening.
But
In these
again, you
movies.
don't know. They know each other. Obviously, you don't know how much. So like,
Yeah, but
I could have seen it.
I don't think so. I think
Well, we're just
that
gonna have
John
to
Wick's
disagree
not
then.
that kind of guy. John Wick is not James Bond, unfortunately.
Right.
Like,
But I would
so,
have. So,
you're only saying that because Perkins is kind of hot.
kinda. Kinda's an unfair word.
That's very fair. Although, to be fair, wait till you see Halle Berry in the third one. Like, damn. You forget that woman is 50 years old.
She's older than that, dude.
She's in her, like, mid-50s. So is Keanu.
That's also
like, you
true.
forget that Keanu... You forget that Keanu is in his mid-50s, man. Like, this guy's immortal.
Also fair. Same with Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd doesn't age either.
Nope.
Was he 49 this year?
Motherfuckers just have... no, I think Paul Rudd's in his 50s. I really love how casual everyone is about dead bodies. Or just, slumped over bodies and whatnot.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful church. Again, really ties into the whole, like, graphic novel kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm. This I had more Constantine vibe, but yeah.
Yeah, it's also...
you need to finish that. I think you would like it.
I really should. I'm also getting a little bit of Cowboy Bebop, which, as you know, for the longest time, Keanu Reeves was in the running to play Spike. Oh, I love this little moment. I love how that one woman is just like, the fuck is going on?
Do you know who you're fucking with? I do.
Just that
balls, okay.
But just that one woman in the background is just like, the hell is going on?
What just happened? Good God.
This is a church, damn it. Okay, now this is the moment where I'm like, holy shit, that is a moment that Nathan wrote. Right here, where he's just like, the eagle will kill me, and he just, boom, blam. Uh-huh. Okay, seriously, like, if I could have ever fucked a man, it would have been Keanu Reeves in just that moment. Like, dear God.
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna disagree with you even, but that's fine.
Like, dear God, that was like, that was actually kind of sexy. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, jeez. Okay, so this is the bit where he just. This is where he just goes straight for the cojones and burns everything. Love that shot.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I would have said yeah instead of uh-huh, and I would have wrote that wrong. Uh-huh was perfect.
Uh-huh was, like, the best thing.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then I really love how the priest is... actually at that point I would have... if I was the priest, I would have been just like, look, if I open this, Vigo's going to kill me. If I don't open it, you're going to kill me. So why don't you just kill me? So at least you can't get into the vault.
Loyalty
if I
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Not always.
Yeah. All right, this bit. Yeah.
You are no lady.
All right, that bit right here where she cracks her thumb to get out of the handcuffs. That was actually kind of like, ugh. Because I don't know if that's something that the actress can actually do, or if that's just like a prosthetic hand, or if it's someone else's hands that can do that or whatnot. I don't know, but either way,
I feel like more prosthetic. Well, first off, I feel like the handcuffs were looser than what you think. So all you had to do was just kind of make the motion to look like it happened. You know
Probably.
what I mean? Yeah.
But either way, they know how to really sell that effect. Because damn.
Yeah.
And then I love this, like, just right the fuck out of nowhere. Blam! Headshot. I swear to God, like, if you watch this movie, like, 90% of the shots that he gets are headshots.
Well, he does a body shot and then he finishes them off without a second thought. Like, he knows, unlike most movies, when you get shot, a lot of action movies will have you killed off right away, but that's not how that works. Unless you're hit vitally or with a headshot, you have time. Whether you're down and out is not the point. And John Wick knows this, and there's always an option for somebody to shoot you if they're still alive, no matter how long. So he ends it. He finishes it. Double tap.
Yep. And he is just constantly pressing these guys. Just like
Mm-hmm.
bam, 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 bam. Like, Jesus. And not to mention, we also really got to acknowledge his, geez, like that. Boom. Boom. Oh,
Ooh.
God, he gets hit by the car. Ow.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow, ow, ow.
Yeah, he's feeling that one.
Okay, seriously, right here and then,
I would
they
have
should have
shot him.
just, like, they should have just capped him in the face.
Yeah. With that much damage, I'd have shot him. Like, and
Yeah.
also, to be fair, this is where I don't get Vigo's character a whole lot. Because out of respect, I would have shot him. I would not have tortured him. I would not have kept him alive. Out of respect for what he did and understanding what the situation is, I'd have shot him.
Yeah. Also, as a liability, because
Mm-hmm.
he did literally just torch all of his stuff and whatnot. Because, I mean, I think that's supposed to be the motivator as to why he's keeping him alive to be tortured and whatnot. Because, he torched, like, priceless amounts of drives and blackmail and money and whatnot. So I guess that works, but honestly, well, at the end of the day, it's really just an excuse to have more John Wick action.
Right.
And at one point, like he literally goes full on Doctor Evil, where he's just like, now I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to walk away and assume it all goes to plan.
Yeah, like, for somebody who gave him such respect in the first half hour of the movie, this seems stupid. I mean, really
Oh,
just stupid.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, but well, he is giving stuff like right here is listing them off like physical evidence, blackmail, audio
Right, but
recordings,
I
all
would have
this
shot
stuff.
him at the end of this scene. There's no reason.
Mm-hmm.
No reason at all.
Well, I think the whole bit because it's coming up, where Keanu's just sizing him up, and is just like intimidating him right back. That Vigo just kind of says, you know what, I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to see you. Blah blah blah. Just I'm out.
But still,
Like
that's
that's the
stupid.
attitude they try to give it. Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
but
It is.
yeah.
But
Like,
yeah,
I get it from a writer's aspect. I get it from a story aspect. But from a character aspect, it makes no sense as to why he would let his anger take over and make him make such a stupid move. Torture him, fine. You make the time for somebody who took out literally 50 men last night. So you make the time to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. But again, they kind of wrote themselves into a corner, so there wasn't much way out.
Yeah.
And because and sadly, because I don't really mind it too much. Like, because you could totally say, yeah, this is probably the biggest thing we'll nitpick about the movie, but really, at the end of the day, like the rest of the movie is so fucking enjoyable. Like, I don't really care. I don't really care if he does go full Doctor Evil and just leaves and assumes it all going to plan. Like, I'm okay with it because it just gives me more John Wick action. Plus, it just kind of feels tonally. It still feels tonally correct. Like the movie knows what it is. Like it's like a B movie revenge action movie, kind of based off of the no nonsense revenge flicks of the '70s.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that ass, I really love the way he just says the fucking boogeyman. Ah! But I really don't mind it. Like, it's still just a B. At the end of the day, it's a B movie. It's fun. It's entertaining, and if it's doing that job, then I can forgive shit like this because that's how you make movies. Is if you make the majority of the ride so entertaining, you can overlook all the tiny little mistakes. Oh, shit. I think this is the part where Keanu Reeves finally lost his trademark chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. I actually think like Honest Trailers put it perfectly, where they're like, yeah, he's been trying to lose his basic chill since like Bill and Ted. Like he got sort of that he sort of got there when with Point Break, but yeah, ever since then he's been trying to get that. But here he finally gets to break out of his chill mode and go into just total kill mode.
Now, do you think that um do you think that
Willem
um
Dafoe.
thank you. Jesus, I can't think of things anymore. Do you think his character would have taken out Vigo had he tried to take him out then? Curious
Probably.
question.
I think he was just like still weighing his options. Like he's just keeping John Wick alive as long as he can to, because he's like, look, if anyone's gonna kill John Wick, it's gonna be me. I
Hmm.
think that's like uh, his motivation, which is why you know this movie seems to have like a recurring theme of like if John Wick is in a jam, just have Willem Dafoe with a sniper rifle to save his ass.
Yeah, that's literally twice now. So
I think it comes in a third time. I forget, but yeah, we've
I
seen it
can't
twice, and
remember.
oh, we'll see if he does. But yeah, man, like he totally shows like within a span of an hour, twice he's saved his ass with a sniper rifle.
Also, why was John Wick not legitimately tied to the chair?
um, again, so he could kill this
Hmm.
guy. That's I'm
Yeah, but
okay with him getting out.
you could have had him do like a badass Black Widow in Avengers
Chair
move where he
break.
just broke the chair. That would have been fine too.
Well, I mean, well, this is a different stunt team, so they have their own like little uh, perks and gimmies and whatnot.
True.
So yeah, I mean, because as you can tell in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the stunt guys they really like the leg scissors move.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think
Yeah,
you were
it's
right. That was the scene that we were gonna nitpick the most, just because you could tell you absolutely had it right. You could tell that the writers had written themselves into a corner, and this is probably what they worked on the longest, just to make it okay.
yeah, yeah. And then this moment is probably also one of my favorites, where he's just like cool it, 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 and then right here where he just like bam. I actually think shit. I actually like want to believe like at that moment he actually shit his pants. Just like motherfucker, what am I gonna do with you? He is just so done. He's willing to give up his own son just because he's so fucking done with everything. Oh man. But yeah, again, that one scene, biggest problem with the movie, really. Also, the other big flaw with this movie is probably the fact that the nightclub scene is obviously the big set piece,
Mm-hmm.
and they only used it for the second act, not the third, because with a lot of not just action movies, but movies in general, they tend to struggle with the third act, and of course, this movie's no exception. And yeah, it's really kind of hard to make it a little bit more emotionally invested, especially with the way you've written the story out as is. Plus, there's only so much money and time and whatnot, and
Right.
uh, yeah, but
Well, the
whatever.
second movie
I
had a
still
bigger
love this
budget than
movie.
this one.
Oh, totally. You can fucking tell. They're
Yeah.
like, all right, we know what we learned on the last one. We're gonna take the first John Wick as a big lesson and just do all that stuff, but and try to correct ourselves. I do really love the intercut with the video game. Like it's a wonderful little boom,
Oof.
dude. Did you notice he shot with such precision that he didn't damage the headphones the guy was wearing?
Well, you don't want to cause unnecessary strife.
I like to think that he's that precise. Like if you watch him in John Wick 2, um, when he's in the museum, you'll notice that they don't actually shoot at any of the art pieces. Like the most damage to the art is the blood Rorschachs,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it. Which is kind of, I feel like that's kind of a respect to the environment, which is really cool. Oh,
Well, they're
damn.
professionals. They do what they mean to do.
Yep. And then, of course, the big moment, bam, gets him in the head. And it's all Yotsef just on his own. And the whole movie's leading up to for the main protagonist to just casually shoot him in the gut. But I do love the walk. Like that actually reminds me a lot of Constantine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
And then bam in the face.
Not even that. That actually reminds me of season 2 of The Punisher. At the very end of
Hmm.
that, where you thought there was going to be this long montage, this long epilogue of conversation, but no, just short, done. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, well, John Wick is a man of very few words, so
Mm-hmm.
he's less of a man of words and more of a man of bullets. And of course, Yotsef is just like, oh god, just gave up my son for this
Right.
shit. To be fair, he was kind of an idiot not knowing who John Wick was.
Right, but even so,
Like you would think his son would actually know about the guy who gave him the foundation for his entire life. I mean, everyone. It seems like everyone in this universe seems to know who John Wick is and his reputation, except for those guys.
I think that's just a generational gap. Like Perkins was in the
Probably.
middle of that, so she heard of him, maybe even worked with him once or twice, but didn't see him full tilt, because it was past her time. And then the
Yeah.
next step down, or next half step down, you know, why would you need to know?
Yep. Paid the price for that for sure.
Hmm.
Like
I
big
agree. If
time.
there was like a young John Wick series, I think I'd watch the shit out of that.
Oh my god. I've actually heard like stories. Like apparently he was an orphan in like Calcutta um, or like really eastern Russia, and was taken in by the society and trained and whatnot to become like the best of all of their assassins and whatnot, and eventually wound up in Moscow and started working for the mob, and eventually settled in New York.
Hmm.
That's apparently the whole back the brief summary
The
of
the
who
the
John Wick
official,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, which honestly, if that's what it is, like I will totally watch the Adventures of young John
Oh
Wick.
yeah. Oh yeah. All day.
I think we all day, all night, even just watching the Continental, and just anything more within this world, because that's the real beauty of this movie. I think is the fact that they, even though they had a much shorter movie than most, they have a lot of world building for this movie, and it never feels like like oh we're gonna be the next Marvel, like a lot of other big movies have been doing.
Hmm.
But it just no, they're just like let's have fun, like let's just build a little world within our own and just like have fun with it. Not expect because I remember they didn't have any expectations for this movie at all. Like they thought it would be a moderate hit and be like, oh, that was fun. Wasn't that cool? Yeah, it was cool. And but then it turned into this, big ass sleeper hit of the year, and they were just like, oh shit, people
Yeah.
actually like this. Let's do some more.
Well, this is a lot like Boondock Saints, I think. Like, it was low. Well, it's better budget than Boondocks, but, like,
Yeah,
relatively low budget. Basically, cult flick, very stylized, and then just exploded.
yeah. especially with posters in college dorm rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's that and Fight Club. That's every college dorm room ever. Boondock Saints and Fight Club posters. And that's partially why I really can't stand either of those movies. Oh God, he is beating the fuck out of. Like
I
Willem
kind of
Dafoe hasn't
expected.
been beating the fuck. What's up?
I kind of expected Willem Dafoe's character to put up a bit of a better fight. Also, fuck you, Perkins, you hot, sleazy bitch.
You hot. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I mean, they kind of got him right out in the middle of walking out in the middle of the street. So, yeah, they kind of got him. Oh God, man, Willem Dafoe hasn't been tortured this hard since Last Temptation of Christ. Oh, you know what's really funny about Willem Dafoe? He plays Jesus Christ in Last Temptation, right? But he also plays the
Mm-hmm.
Antichrist in Antichrist.
There
Willem Dafoe
you
is
go.
the spectrum. He is the spectrum. He is the key to everything. Of course, not in this movie, which really sucks.
I do like how they at least let him go down fighting, though. Like, listen here. I may not be walking out of here, but at least a few of you aren't either.
Yeah. And he still gets his little bit of a moment. Just like, bitch, I told you. Oh, God. That's just gratuitous.
And that's, unfortunately, really good acting, because that's just like the slumping.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, really wish I could have seen a lot more of his character because Willem Dafoe is not in this movie for a very long time.
Well, he's not a big character. Yeah, we're an hour and a half in, give or take.
Yeah, we are at 1 hour and 22, 22, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 50, and so we are 123, an hour and 23 in. So, but yeah, the dude's only had like maybe 3-4 minutes of screen time. Like even Perkins here gets more screen time than Willem Dafoe. Although to be fair, it's probably because Willem Dafoe is just expensive.
Yeah. Also, to those watching, there's maybe a minute difference between the DVD and the Blu-ray version of the movie, just so you're aware. We figured it out, but just so you're confused.
Yeah, it's all cool. Plus you're coming to us all the way from Denver, Colorado, where I'm based in Cincy, so there's a bit of a we're talking via messenger, so there's a bit of a slight time lag sort of thing, but we try to make it as comprehensive as we can. It's close enough. And then this right here, she should have seen coming from a mile away, but apparently, newbies, that sort of thing, just blam. They just drop her ass.
Yeah. Although the crossfire is not the best way to go, but whatever.
It's more of a style than anything.
Right.
Or
right.
Actually, you know what? Maybe it's kind of like a firing squad, where all the guys get one bullet, and every one of them except for one guy gets a blank, so they don't know who actually killed her.
Huh. Well, also hollow point, but still, you would still think it'd be like more of a V. But
yeah, but again, it's more of a stylistic thing. It looks cool.
Yeah, this movie adheres a lot to realism as far as how the physics of this thing works. But every once in a while, they take a really weird artistic throw off that's just jarring enough to be noticed. Not necessarily in a bad way, though.
Yep. I love the fucking thunder. The fucking storm is coming to Vigo and his crew. Oh shit. Oh shit. Who's that behind him? Who could it be? I really love how he's just buckling up like, yeah, here he comes. Yep, this is happening. And I really love the bit coming up and just, oh, geez, he just rammed that fucker right off there. But I just love how, right here, he's just laughing. He's like, we're all going to die.
Well, he kind of, like, you could tell when he gave up his son, his character shifted.
Yeah.
You know, like, what the fuck do I care anymore? I'm clearly a pile of shit. What have I done? I deserve this. But I'm going to go down fighting, but I deserve this.
Yep, I'm going to die. Yay!
Yeah, and you can tell he's just fucking lost it at this point. Now he's just kind of watching it like he's in a movie theater.
Yep, pretty much.
He's just great.
Like, oh.
Wow, that was impressive as fuck. Holy shit.
Right? Go kill him. Oh, that dude, the thunder and lightning
damn
right
well
there.
Ain't gonna work.
Nope. But now this is crazy. Now, so we've had dude, right there, boom. That was fucking cool. But yeah, no. So we've had kung fu, we've had gun fu, and now we're having car fu. I just really love the fact that Vigo's just there smoking cigars, like sipping his bourbon. He's just like, whatever. Just like, yeah,
we're not
go kill him.
through this.
Nope.
We all know it. If we do, cool, but odds are heavily against us.
Yep. And then this bit right here where he's just like, I need a gun.
Gives him a gun. Casually.
He's like, go get him.
You think it'll help. But he's riding that fucker like a Bronco.
Yeah, dude. Like, he might as well be on horseback. Although, to be fair, John Wick 3, he's fucking playing with him, man. I love it. He's just Russian cocksucker. You know, if I were that mob guy right there getting out, I honestly wouldn't even try to fight. I would just take the gun and just run. The gun is just insurance. I wouldn't take the gun.
I was like, I would drop it to where John Wick sees it. I just walked right the fuck off. I was like, you know what? Not worth it.
Oh, dude, really? You one shot, you think you got John Wick. Fuck no. You got to shoot that man multiple times in the face. Bam. Oh, shit. Dude, the thunder and the lightning in the background is so fucking awesome. It just adds so much to it. And then Vigo's taking one final stand. Trying to get him. Now, you'd think... Oh, man. See, you would think a marksman would be able to hit that even on a moving target, but whatever. We got to have a toe-to-toe battle with the movie's main protagonist at the end. And not just that, but in the rain.
Cliches, man. I said it before in this video. Cliches, brother.
Yeah.
They're
there for a reason. Hey, at least it still looks cool, you know?
It looks fucking badass.
Yeah. Still not the first time they've done it, though. Remember, Keanu Reeves from the last badass showdown in the rain? We saw that shit in The Matrix, and it was... Although here, it's still fucking cool.
No more guns, John.
But, yeah, I do really love the fact that they just decided to go full Akira Kurosawa and just put him in the fucking rain. Make it really, like, you know, one-on-one samurai sort of thing. Actually, it would have been really cool if they were fighting with swords and not just their hands. Because this fight sequence feels like somehow not... It doesn't feel like really... The stakes really aren't heavy because, you know, he's an overweight dad. And he's going up against John fucking Wick.
Done. The stakes are gone. There's no stakes. It's just a life at this point, and one that he doesn't even really want. Like, so, no.
True.
This is all symbolic to him. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to go out, let me fight for it, but I know you're going to win. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I get out of this.
Like, let me take my final stand.
Right. I know I'm going to not walk away from this. Let me fight what I can.
Which, yeah. And of course, John Wick is more or less just obliging at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's and it's probably one of the only reasons why it lasts this long. Because oh shit, damn. But because honestly, like if John Wick really wanted to kill him, this fight would be over in like 2 seconds.
No, he wouldn't have thrown away the gun.
Yeah, that's true. Although,
Because, he didn't
actually,
hesitate before.
yeah. Although to be fair, the fight for this actually originally lasted a lot longer, but they were like, yeah, a fight with John Wick hand to hand would not last very long,
Mm-hmm.
so they just had to cut it down to what it is now. But yeah, I really kind of like the idea that they're like, let's just die together. Of course, John Wick isn't like having that shit at all.
Well,
Oh
he
wait,
thought so at the time, And this is
yeah,
really the only movie of the ones that I know of. Because, again, I haven't seen 3. This is really the only movie where he has a motive. Everything else is just shit coming at him and him reacting. This is his only job that he gave himself.
yeah. Oh man, Keanu has never looked so intimidating before. Love it.
Yeah. I would not. I would not want to square up with him. I'll tell you that right now. No, thank
Nope.
you.
Nope. And back to the beginning. And of course, the thing that makes him ultimately get up is, his wife actually saying, let's go home. Like that's enough to get his dying ass off the concrete and back walking again. Of course, the most satisfying bit in the whole movie is when he goes into the pound to, like stitch himself up and whatnot. He gets himself a new puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Who's such a good boy.
Also,
Although
shitty
really
building
must be-
security.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, not only is it really shitty building security, but thank God, he's bleeding to death next to a pet kennel where there's like a first aid kit and
Well, yeah,
lots
that's
of
the
shit for him
thing.
to do and all. Yeah,
I mean, any place that has medical supplies, no matter how shitty, you would expect to have something.
yeah. But you know what? Again, this, like we said before, if the movie distracts from all the nitpicks and whatnot, and oh,
Mm-hmm.
jeez, like fucking staples. But yeah, if the movie is good enough and distracts you well enough and entertains you, like you can overlook small shit like that. Like it's
Yeah.
cool. We'll run with it. I mean, we know we're watching a action B movie, so it's all cool, man. It's all cool. But of course, it wasn't a shelter for cats or anything. It had to be dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We're no fucking parrots, no little lizards, no nothing. But had to be dogs, because he's got to get a new puppy in the end.
And I wish they showed this a little bit more, but you could tell he actually took the dog that was not taken, so he was going to be euthanized. There was a small little stamp on his papers that you just barely caught a glimpse to. That's the dog he
that's
took.
cool.
Yeah, you didn't see
Oh, that's cool.
that? You didn't see that?
I didn't realize. I did
Yeah,
not.
it's a real tiny
wow.
thing.
That's cool.
Very tiny
That's
thing,
really
but
cool.
there was a stamp on the paperwork for the dog.
Oh, wow. Wow. So he saved that puppy's life. That man, my respect for John Wick just grew like I didn't think it could get any more my respect couldn't grow anymore for this man, but right there and then, god damn.
Yeah, after
Bless you,
after
John
the
Wick.
video, you should rewind it just to double check that little bit, just for you. But yeah, I caught that like the second or third time I saw this. I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
That's awesome. Right the fuck on, man. So, well, that's the movie right there. And you know what's really cool? A lot of the as you can see the end credits here are basically just a lot of helicopter footage of nightlife on New York City.
Mm-hmm.
What's really interesting is John Wick 2. It opens with those exact same kind of shots, which is why I'm like, dude, a supercut of like all the John Wick movies in a row would actually be a lot easier than most people would make it out to be.
I mean, if you want to invite me again, I would be glad.
Well, see, the thing is, like for the podcast, people themselves wouldn't probably have access to it. But hell, if you want to just like like next time you're back in Cincinnati, and you got 5.5 hours to kill, like I will gladly sit your ass down. Yeah, I was about to say like, nah,
I
nah.
do have the whiskey for that. I'm just gonna say. we can do that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, man. Like that's the thing, because like I'm all for like 5 hour movies or whatnot, 4 hour, 5 hour movies. Just give me give me an intermission so I can pee.
Mm. Well, of course.
Because, well, I mean, I'll
Pizza
do a
break.
3 hour movie. I'll do a 3 hour movie. No sweat. I'll do a 3.5 hour movie. That's fine. But if you go like 3 hours and 40 minutes, you just put in an intermission so I can pee.
Extended cut
Like,
Lord of the
cool.
Rings. That's where I draw that line.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What's that? The director's cut? Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, or the extended edition.
Yeah, those are like three hours and change, aren't they?
The first one is 3.5. The second one is about 3 hours and 40 minutes, and the last one is straight up 4 hours long.
Yeah, that's about as long as I can
Yeah.
sit still, period, without moving. So,
Well, to be fair, the really cool thing about the extended edition is because they're DVD based and Blu-ray based. The way that the DVDs and they're released is the first disc is the first half of the movie, and then the second disc is the second half, and then the other two discs are like the appendices and the special features and whatnot. So literally, the intermission is when you have to swap out the disc.
oh, so literally just Titanic style it.
Yeah, it's kind of like what the old VHS tapes did back in the day.
Yeah.
Which that's also another really good way to do it. Like for home video release, just put part 2 on like a side A, side B type of thing, or disc 1, disc 2, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and for you youngins that are listening, that's how they used to do shit like that. There's only so much tape.
Tell me about it. Daddy, what's VHS?
Oh god.
Although to be fair, I still really I really pray for the day that the intermission comes back as a thematic tool again for movies.
It's done stylistically every once in a while.
Actually, no. I believe the last movie that it was done in was like Dances with Wolves back in 91 or 1990.
No,
I could be wrong, but
I'm not sure
they
that's
honestly
correct.
haven't been done.
Now, as far as doing it as like a movie, like just because I had to, that's probably true. But I have to get back to you on that. But I'm pretty sure there's been plenty of movies that have done like a stylistic intermission where it just kind of faded out and faded back in.
I don't think so. Like again, if I could be total bullshitting, but I believe the last time a major, like at least for a major movie, there hasn't been an intermission in movies since like the 90s, honestly. Because the whole reason is totally like when you break it down, you know why it's been doing that. Because like movies have certain run times. Like the producers love 90-minute movies because that means it's just more screenings and therefore more money. You have a longer movie, you have less chance of more screenings and therefore less money being made back. So that's yeah. And the only reason why Avengers Endgame which is a 3-hour movie, made so much is because they were playing on like 5 different screens at every theater in America.
Yeah.
And that's because Disney has that kind of power.
Right.
Whereas,
yeah. I mean, you hype anything up for 10 years with 15, 16 different movies, you're gonna have that pull. But,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's fair.
But so yeah, I understand why they're doing it, but honestly, because Avengers Endgame is now the biggest movie of all time, I'm actually kind of hoping that the intermission does come back and be like, oh, 3-hour movies can make money. Like, let's do more of them, that sort of thing. Because
That'd be interesting.
Because honestly, yeah, man, because like if you can hold my attention for 3 hours, that just means you're that much good of a filmmaker. I know a lot of people have the misconception it's like, oh, people with ADHD won't be able to stand it, and that might be true in some accounts, but honestly, like if you make a good enough movie, we'll watch it. Because like a lot of those Lord of the Rings fans, they'll be like extended edition forever,
Right?
Sure. I mean, and they're willing to honestly do multiple times within a year. They're willing to sit through all 3 in one day. That's a 12-hour movie, sir. So there's people out there who are willing to see 3-hour plus movies, hell, even 4-hour movies, 5-hour movies, whatever. They're willing to do it. It's just you got to be good enough to hold our attention for that long, and also give us a chance to pee in the meantime. Like, we're only human.
Well, for the most part, we have pause buttons, but as far as actually theatrical releases, yeah, that's going to be... The longer the story arc goes, the more you're going to have to cater to the audience as well. So, yeah, you might be right. That'd be kind of cool to see come back, though.
Yeah, it would be nice. Just, again, it's just really a matter of the quality of the movie. Because a good movie's a good movie. Doesn't really matter the runtime, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I can figure out a way to, like, share my supercut of the John Wick trilogy to the internet and not get in too much trouble. Like, I'm all for saying, go buy the DVD, go buy the actual copies, like, support them, because these guys need money to make more movies. They're indie. These are indie movies, and they're not supported by necessarily super big studios or mega studios like Disney and whatnot.
Ridiculous indie movie, by the way.
What's that?
It was it's a fucking ridiculous indie movie. I mean, that's absurd. It was so well done. But trying to bring it back to this actual movie itself, that's one of my favorite action movies that I've seen in a long time. And I'm glad you asked me to come and comment on this. Actually, that was good. Now that I'm a veteran.
Oh yeah, dude. Yes,
podcast.
Absolutely. Actually, and it's probably not going to happen for a while because I want to just like give it a little time. But since John Wick 4 is coming out in 2021, I want to have you back here 1 year from now to do John Wick 2, and then right before John Wick 4 comes out, we'll do John Wick 3.
Well, twist my arm, why don't you? Jeez. Okay.
What's that?
I said, twist my arm, why don't you? Jeez. Well, okay, all right, fine.
Well, it'd be really nice, man. Like, because it's been fun talking with you about this fucking movie, man. It's a really great one, and I honestly always kind of like think of you in the back of my head whenever I watch these.
Again, you flatter me far too much, but if I could have the place for the John Wick series on your show, I'd be very, very happy.
Well, you definitely have a spot here on the show for John Wick, and
always
shall. Always shall.
Now I am just excited.
Yes. So, yeah, man, like listeners out there, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you with Nathan next year, hopefully sooner on another movie, because, we like having you on the show and whatnot, and we'll catch you again. So this has been so why don't you say goodbye to everyone, Nate?
Thanks for listening, everybody, through all of Tim and Mai's bullshit. So hopefully you enjoyed.
Yeah. All right, so you guys can join us next year for John Wick 2, as man, that's one that I love even more. This has been an episode of Contract where you'll never have watch a movie alone again. Peace.